Okay, this is one of the presets that I set up on my account with Financial Visualizations, fenviz.com, and I'm going to go over it a little bit with you. You can use this, but feel free to play with it. I do too. Like I said, as long as you kind of stick close to the 4 key factors in runaway stocks that you see in the report, How to Find Stocks to Trade, you'll see that a lot of what I have here is built on that foundation. Now, this is called small cap momentum, and I look for companies. Whoops, sorry about that. Let me go back. Okay, sorry about that. I look for companies that are between 300 million and a $2 billion market cap. And the reason I do that is from William O'Neill's book, How to Make Money in Stocks, where he talks about the stocks that historically have shown the biggest runaway moves have been small cap stocks. And there's a couple of reasons for that. If a company's really like cutting edge, then they're going to have some kind of unique product or service or positioning in the market that's going to help them get to a multi-billion-dollar company, especially if it has international appeal. The other thing is that if a company has good cash flow, then they're going to get bought up by a bigger company because they want the earnings. They want to improve their own bottom line, their own market cap. So that's why I select that particular market cap. Float short, basically it goes back to supply and demand. Once institutions start buying it up, there's enough stock out there to where they can go ahead and buy it, and it drives up share price. And then I look for return on equity because it helps, for me at least, as an indicator of how good management is, whether or not it's going to go ahead. Whether it's going to go ahead and they're confident in that they can grow the company's equity, which again improves the share price. And then I'm looking for earnings over 30%. This is the max that this particular preset will allow. Now, as you start to look through these stocks, which I'm going to show you, the average earnings quarter over quarter for the stocks that take off is around 72%. But that's the max it allows, so that's what we got to use. And that leads to the new high. Historically, stocks that are small cap, that are getting ready to rally, and they have an institutional sponsorship, then they're going to be driven to a higher price. And so looking for stocks with a new high, I'm actually looking for stocks with an all-time high, and those are the stocks that I'm looking to trade. Now, come down here, you can see that all the charts of the different companies that were pulled up on this particular scan are all showed right here. Now, there's a total of 7. Like I said, you're not going to find a lot of stocks, but we're looking for quality. We're not looking for quantity. And they even allow some technical criteria to be put in here. You'll see they'll kind of draw some, some trend lines, and they'll kind of give you an idea where the patterns are. But for the most part, what we're looking at is for stocks that have some compelling criteria. Now, you can also see that a lot of these small cap stocks, they have lower share price. The ones that I like so far, the ones that are trading in a steady series of higher highs and higher lows, this is for a bullish scan, by the way, and they're forming like a little period of price contraction or a base pattern, and they're getting ready to go to higher ground. Now, this one, let's take a closer look at it. This is stock symbol MEA. It's trading above the 50-day and the 200-day moving average, which is good. And you can come up here and you can kind of play with a little bit of the time frame. Looks good. Went from $10. Show some steady movement here, and it showed a lot of bullish activity here in the last week. Market cap of 1.61 billion, so it's a pretty healthy company. Earnings per share this year 132%, and quarter over quarter 363%. So this is a company that fundamentally looks pretty strong, all things considered. Shares outstanding 39.5 million, shares float 39.45. So if the stock starts getting acquired, then it's going to start it's going to start driving higher. So that is an interesting stock. Price action looks a little sloppy right here, but it looks like it's building up a base. It's still above its 250-day moving average, and it's kind of fired up above resistance right here. I'm going to switch screens real quick. Let's see. Now the other thing you can play with is average volume. I didn't do that on that particular screen because I like to take a look at it, but I used the 50-day average volume right here. That looks to be an actionable signal right there. Volume is 2 million that day, and the 50-day average is 370,000 shares, so that's huge. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well that's one that's going to make the list. Okay. Let's go back and take a look at here. There's a company called Plow. 150%. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Had kind of a base right here and started trading higher. Market cap is 457. It's an interesting stock. Auto parts, consumer goods. Consumer goods has been pretty good. I'm going to take a look over here at me again. Technology, diversified products. Okay, for those who are kind of just listening to me kind of mumble to myself, this is kind of what I do whenever I'm scanning through stocks. I'll go back, try and get some background on the stock to kind of get a feel for it. Over in Yahoo Finance, that was a nice pop right there. And it made it above this upward trend line. Yeah, the price action looks interesting, but I'm not crazy about the earnings. But a price trend is a price trend. Yeah, look at that. Real estate development. And I think real estate's coming back. They're starting to get out a lot of this old inventory and everything, and parts of the country are starting to recover economically, so they're looking to buy houses again. I'll keep a close look on it. The only thing I don't like about it is that price action's almost vertical. Let's take a look at this. I actually wrote an article about this stock the other day, RSCW, and it is not disappointed. If anybody's a subscriber over at traders.com, Advantage, that's the website version of Stock and Commodities magazine, technical analysis magazine. I do some writing for them every once in a while. And I had actually profiled this stock. It's in metal fabrication. There's not a lot of, I don't mean to sound snobby, but there's not a lot of like leading market technology in metal fabrication. It really is due to supply and demand. But their earnings are definitely up. And a trade is a trade. Okay. So hopefully you can kind of get an idea of how to go through some of these stocks. You can use this scan or you can tinker with it. You know, sometimes if I get a lot of stocks here, you know, I'm going to take a look and see. You can also plug in 50 and 200A, but you can also go through and you can take a look at their sales, which I'm trying to find. I'll look at the annual sales. I'm looking for annual sales of a 20% increase year over year. Where is that? You could also look for some patterns up in here. I don't really ever use it. I like to use a visual confirmation of it. I know sales is in here. Come on, guys, work with me a little bit. Maybe I can see it better from over here. Their sales growth for the past 5 years, quarter-over-quarter return on assets. Let's use this here. Yeah, one company. Let's take a look at that again. Sales quarter-over-quarter. You can kind of get an idea long-term where it's coming from. Past 5 years. This year, 250% increase on earnings. Okay, well, this is another one I'm going to look at. Some people get a little leery of these small cap stocks that are less than $1 billion, but I don't. I think that they make really good price movement and that they take off really well. So, anyway, that's how I scan for stocks. Go ahead and give it a try. If you have questions, of course, you can always just text me or email me. But that's how I just kind of go through, pull up a list of stocks to look for, and how I kind of break it down, and use that as kind of a guideline. Use the report. Again, you can go back to the website, you know, how to find stocks to trade, and it's free. No opt-in. You don't have to buy anything, or you can go ahead and use it it's attached to this course. So there'll be more reports and more videos coming. At any rate, I hope this has been helpful to you. Good trading.